Fortunate there.
You know, we've been putting either one guy back or doubles back, and we had Caleb Arnold back there, and Zane Dodson wasn't back there with him, but Jonte was about 15 yards in front of him, and they ended up having a bad kick, and it goes to Jonte and tries to fair catch it, kind of muffs it, but he gets it back in a whole host of them, and we trot back out on offense.
And the spin on that ball, probably if he'd have let it go, it'd have come back towards Jacksonville. So, honestly, just a terrible punt, to be honest with you. Kicked it straight up in the air.
Like a kickoff.
That's right. All right, McHenry back in, Witcher in it, and he gets the handoff, and he's going to make a one cut, and he's going to be brought down at the 35-yard line, going to have a gain of 7 yards.
Yeah, and he was brought down by number 16 for Jacksonville, Carson Cleaver, who's a junior. But I'll tell you what, Witcher, who you're going to hear me call BD all night, he made some great cuts in the backfield and ends up getting 6 yards.
Witcher's he's quick. He's real shifty. Looks a little different. And so Witcher brings it out. And how about that lead block by number 77, McCullough right there, baby. He was rolling.
And tell you, not only him, but DeMarcus Day was out way in front. And if he would have broke one tackle, DeMarcus Day was the only person between him and the Indians in the end zone. So they'll keep working on that. And, man, to get a couple of lead blocks with guys like that, 300-pounders out in front of you, that's what you want all night.
And, you know, you want to blow people out. You want that, but you need a little test, especially for the playoffs. Not everybody's going to be like that. McHenry deep, and he's got wide open. It's going to be Ron Sellers. And Sellers, he had to turn around and catch it just a little bit, which caused him to fumble, but you take the big play.
The only person that could have brought Ryan down was the 20-yard line, and that's exactly what did. But he gets down to the 18, and he just got – you know, here's the thing. Brayson can't throw that ball away in front of him. He's so open that he's got to at least make sure he catches it.
Witcher with the carry.
Oh, great cutback.
Going to cut back. And
holy cow.
Witcher.
Look. Big number 77, Kayshawn McCullough. That kid just he just blew someone up out there, and Witcher makes a great run, and Texas High does the exact same thing that they did on the first drive. And if they can keep doing that, it doesn't matter what they do on defense. But I'm saying we won't give up a lot of points.
I love Shelley and McHenry's celebration. If you get to come to a game, you got to see it. It reminds me of LaMichael James when he was back at Oregon. He's the one that started that right out of Texarkana, so here it is. So with 1:22 left in the first quarter, Texas High 14, Jacksonville 6.
We are excited to announce here at Texarkana Emergency Center and Hospital that we have expanded our capabilities to better serve our community. As a hospital, we have the capability for inpatient services. After your outstanding emergency care, we can smoothly transition you into one of our new inpatient rooms that have telemetry monitors in every room to continue your concierge medicine care. While our patients continue receiving their care in their inpatient suites, we also make sure that your loved ones are taken care of with our outstanding facilities. Our added services include a procedure room and also the capability of MRIs. With our imaging, we are able to offer outpatient, inpatient, and emergency room, MRI, CT, ultrasound, and X-ray. We are honored by your support and look forward to serving all your future medical needs.
Texas High Pooch kicks the kickoff down to about the 28, and they end up returning the kick, and we kind of lost containment. They get out to the 44. So, you know, like I said earlier, that's why we're pooch kicking it, is so we don't the last thing we want is a big return or to, you know, give our defense a short field. We want them to have it at the, 25 to 30, but it just wasn't very good right there, and they'll get that fixed just like they got the defense fixed.
Yeah, Kennedy on that reception.
He's been all over the place tonight.
Yes, Kennedy's going to play on both sides of the ball, as well as a lot of special teams. Between him and McEwen, you're going to be calling their name, although we haven't called McEwen yet. And McEwen's 14. He's a sophomore, and he's a go-to guy. Clater back to pass. Boom. And he's going to hit.
There's the ball. What a hit.
And it's going
What a hit by Jalen Jones.
Football.
Jalen Jones absolutely decleats him, and Texas High jumps on the ball. And although Jacksonville had made a good play, nothing. I mean, he hit his hat right on the ball. Man, that was a big play.
Darian Jones on the reception, and he's looking at Coach saying, I was down.
Yeah, he was down. He was down, but after we got the ball, and I'll tell you what, we had the quarterback dead to right and made a big hit on him, and that helped that play. But man, what a hit by Jalen Jones to get that turnover. And then Texas, that's another thing. I mean, we can get some early turnovers. We can get ahead and start fast, like I said.
Yeah, 106 left in the first quarter, 14-6 Texas High. McHenry back to pass.
Oh, Nate Minnie.
He's got Minnie across the middle, and Minnie's got his first reception of the year.
I think that's his second. I think that's his second. But, man, one of them was like in the fourth quarter, but that was a play to Nate Minnie, and he ran a perfect route. Brayson fakes it to Guy Johnson in the backfield and hits Minnie right on the run. 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. This is how Texas High goes. Tempo. Out to Sellers. I'm telling you, that 20-yard line gets him again.
Yes.
No, he was brought down over on the edge, but Texas High, when they get those big plays, they get up the field, and those 300-pounders, they get down that field really, really quick, and it puts a strain on the defense.
Folks, if you're not understanding, we get excited when there's big plays, and if you don't like it, just turn the volume down and enjoy the game. But it sure is fun.
I'm glad they don't have a camera on us up here, chest bumping up here.
Hey, I'm fixing to take my shirt off. You know what I mean? McHenry hands it off to Witcher. Witcher's going to go around the right side, and he's going to be in for his second
I'll
score
tell you
tonight.
what, that's Guy Johnson, and it was a great move on the edge.
My bad.
No, that's all right. Give Guy a touchdown over there on the edge, and that's a guy that, he had a couple of fumbles in the game last week that didn't end up costing us. But, man, what a run and way to get out to the edge. But, man, that Texas High offensive line, man, Colin Shelley, DeMarcus Day, Brioski, Finley Warren, Kayshawn McCullough, and Hayden Harrell. Good snap by Trey Lavender. Zane Dotson with the put down. Hey, I want to give a special shout out to Ben DePriest, who's not with us tonight. Man, those guys that snap the ball never get any due until something goes wrong, and Ben has been perfect all year long. So we miss him this week. He'll be back next week, and just want to give him a special shout out.
But when one of his best friends gets to step in and do it for him, Lavender steps in and doing a great job, and Hernandez remains perfect.
There you go. There you go. And I'm sure what Ben did was called Trey right before the game and said, hey, don't mess this thing up.
That's right. That's right. So, Ben, hope you get to feeling better, and look forward to seeing you back next week against Nacogdoches, which actually, while we've got your attention with a little bit of time out on the field, next Friday in Nacogdoches, game will be at 5 o'clock.
5
time
p.m.
is at 5 p.m. And then the following week.
You can't be there later. You'll miss about 21, 28 points.
That's right. That's right. And then the following week, White House comes to Grimm Stadium or to Tiger Stadium, and that could be for the district championship. If everything lays out like
we got to keep going like we're going. Oscar Hernandez back to kick, and Texas High's up 21-6 early.
Low kick. It's going to hit. Looks like number 2, Kennedy once again, and they're just going to pick on him all night, and I think what they're trying to do is wear him out because he's on both sides of the ball, plus put that on the kickoff, and if you can keep hitting him, that's good.
And we did a little bit different kick, and I saw us working on that Monday and Tuesday in practice, and it's a little squib kick, and sometimes that's the hardest one to pick up, and that guy made kind of a perfect play, which gets him to the 42, but Lathan Ragland, who's a senior, 5'9", 150, made a great play. Yeah. Hit him pretty hard. Like you say, over the course of the game, the more hits that you can get on somebody, the more they're going to feel it, the more they're going to be looking for it and going to make a mistake. But Jacksonville trots back out on offense and looking to get back going in what they did the first drive.
McEwen in motion, hands it off to Hinojosa.
There you go.
And Hinojosa is going to have a carry of 2 yards, going to bring up 2nd down and 8, and that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter with Texas High leading 21-6. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back after these messages.
A strong work ethic takes pride in a job well done. This is the kind of person you need. Express Employment Professionals can help because we understand what it takes to hire good people It takes real people, real interviews. We find good people, matching the right skills for the right jobs. Express knows jobs. Get to know Express. Go to expresspros.com to find a location near you.
We're back,
Welcome
Eric.
back to the Tomato Bowl.
I'm telling
what
you,
kind of name is that?
This is not your granddaddy's Tomato Bowl. I was here in 2011, came to watch a buddy, Austin White, play a little quarterback, and this place was as run down, ragged, but it is nice, man. They have really done a great job. The stands, the press box, they've got luxury suites over there across the way. They got us in a nice press box across the way, and the Tigers are starting to roll, so you can't ask for much more. But I wanted to give a shout out to Jackson Halter. He's the one who got the tackle right before we had to go to break. So now Tigers got 2nd and 8 for Jacksonville.
So 2nd down and 8. Slater back in at quarterback, back to pass as we expect all night. And throw's going to be low, and is going to be intended for number 9, Casey Avery.
Christian Surratt and Jalen Green, both our tackles, were in the background, and they forced that ball, and that's the worst pass I've seen all night, and you can't help but think it was because of all that pressure that they got, on the quarterback for Jacksonville. But now the defense is starting to step up and put them in third and distance, and for the last 3 or 4 series. So here we go.
Slater back to pass, and he's going to be rocked by number 10, Clayton Smith. Is taking. He turned around and said, "Oh no, what is that coming at me?"
Listen, he might as well just have handed the ball off to him, because I think he got there before the tailback would have gotten there. But Clayton gets about a 10-yard loss, and that he got shot out of a cannon, and nobody touched him going right toward the quarterback, and he didn't have but 2 seconds. But here we go. We got Jonte back about 20, 25 yards, and Caleb Arnold back deep.
Looks like they put in a different punter, so I'm trying to get a number on that, but got Arnold back deep.
Good snap.
So,
oh, man. Should have had him out there first.
Yeah. It's going to be Diaz. Caleb is going to come around. He's going to return it. He's going to make a great break of tackle.
Oh, man.
He's going to be out of bounds at the 50-yard line. Texas High is going to have phenomenal field position as they start.
Hey, and listen.
First drive.
You can have some guys making some plays like our backs, receivers, and then punt return right there. But, man, Lathan Ragland throws a block on the edge that springs him for about another 10 yards. And that's the little things that Texas High has been doing all year. That hey, we got some athletes, and we typically out-athlete people, but man, when those guys are all ginning and all doing the for their backs, that's when it really all comes together, and they're doing it tonight.
Henry takes a snap. Back to pass.
Nate Minnie.
Nate Minnie once again, and Nate Minnie is going to lower that shoulder and say, "I'm a tight end. I'm fixing to show you what it looks like for a tight end to hit a DB." It's going to be brought down by number
17. Listen, number 17, Nate Minnie is as physical as they get, and he plays as hard as he can all game, and I'm glad to see him starting to get the ball, and it's going to give us a new wrinkle to our offense.
McHenry back to pass once again. He's going to have wide open. Caleb Miller. Texas High.
Hey, and you know what made that? 2 guys went with Nate Minnie because he's been getting all the balls, and those are both of our H-backs, and we're running a little special package, and Caden Miller ends up being wide open. Hey, listen, you can't help but think Brayson McHenry makes the right read and hits the right guy, and Texas High just marches down the field again, and here we go with an extra point, but Texas High 27-6 right now.
27-6. Hernandez makes it
28-6.
28-6. And here's the crazy part: before the rest of the district even started,
that's right.
Football tonight, Texas High is already up 28-6.
Listen, what you don't want to do to a team like Jacksonville who's struggling is you don't want to give them a chance. You don't want them to feel like and that's why I say you want to start fast, because a team like that, if they get down early, they're what they're going to do is they're going to go over to the sidelines and they're going to say, hey, coach, here we go again.
Yep.
Here we go again. Woe is me. And they're not going to be as fiery as if they get a 14-point lead, or if they're in it in the second quarter, they're like, hey, we can do this. So Texas High has done exactly what they need to do. Look, the offense is doing really, really well, but the defense has made adjustments and starting to step up, and we're starting to get some pressure on the quarterback. We're starting to make tackles, and it's really, you're sitting here at 28-6 with 10:34 left and kicking off to them, and you got to think we're going to pooch kick it again and not give them any field position.
Yep. And there's probably not a lot of Jacksonville fans watching because they have their own broadcast, but I want to say Matt Montgomery with their broadcast helped us out a lot this week with rosters and spotter sheets, and we really appreciate what they did, because that's what it's about. It's about kids, and it's about working together. Hernandez in a kick. Looks like he might be kicking this one deep.
Wow, and deep he did.
And it's going to be down.
Oh, man, what a kick.
He's got to get that ball.
Come on.
It's going to be fielded by number 5, Isaiah Mallard, and Mallard is going to be brought down inside the 15-yard line. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Jacksonville, the worst field position that they've had all night.
Now everybody's going to be texting me and saying, hey, why don't y'all just kick it deep? I mean, Oscar Hernandez kicks it to the 2 and it bounces to the 1. It's actually a perfect kick because it doesn't go in the end zone, so they have to return it. Now they've had about 3 or 4 straight 3 and outs, and now they got the ball at the 14-yard line with Texas High's defense breathing on them in the end zone.
So 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line for the Indians. Plater back in at quarterback. He's going to be back to pass. And it's going to be great. Oh, it's going to be caught. I thought he knocked that down.
I'm telling you, defend. Go ahead with the offense.
I was going to say by Kennedy.
Kennedy's. I mean, that's one of those names we've been calling all night. So they got a special connection, and we've heard a lot about them. They got a lot of yards this year. But I'm telling you, we had great defense. Defend. I thought he actually had a little PI. Was there maybe a little bit early, but played it really, really well. And they just made a good catch, but only got 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah. It's going to bring up 2nd down and 6, and they moved, and it's going to be a false start on Jacksonville. And that's the thing with our defensive line, is we cause that because they're trying to get off first.
Thought there was a big truck in the deal. Heard the beat. They're moving back, and that great play that they made. That's another thing that I said. We were talking about some keys to Jacksonville. Another thing is they can't make mistakes. They can't get back in their own end of the field and make a false start. Some dead ball plays. So that's in a late hit or go ahead, Eric. I'm sorry.
So it's going to be handed off to Hinojosa. He's going to come up on their left side, and he's going to be brought down after a gain of 2 yards. Going to bring up 3rd down and 10. Basically got back to the original line of scrimmage.
Derek Finley stepped up in a hole, made him cut back, and when he cut back, number 21 Jackson Halter was standing there, and they wish they wouldn't have cut back, because let me tell you something. There's something Jackson Halter does is every tackle, every time you hear me say his name, he's probably hit you pretty hard, and you get tired of it by the end of the night. They may be tired of it by the end of the second quarter.
That's right. So we're having to kind of look around a corner in order to see who's out here. So they got Rivers on this side, 2 receivers on the other side, and they're going to go for Rivers.
Turn your head.
And so going to have a pass interference against Texas High. He never got his head around.
That was number 15. That was Marcel Beaver. And I'm telling you, Coach Spencer had him working on that all week long, and he was there to make the play. You just got to turn your head, and he just didn't turn his head. And I'm telling you, we're getting better at that, but we still don't have it. And he's going to get replaced. Looks like Mike's going to come in for him, number 32, and he's going to get him a little Michael Thomas, who's who's a great basketball player for Coach Jacob Skinner for Texas High. But that's what, that's a third down and long, and that's what you can't do is give them a easy first down on something that they probably weren't going to make the play anyway. And I don't know that he actually hit him that hard, but 9 times out of 10, if you don't get that head turn, they're going to call it on you.
All
and
you
I don't
do is just get it around halfway.
That's right. At any level, you can actually bump a little bit. As long as you turn that head, you got just as much right for it as they do.
So you go 3rd down and 10 to 1st and 10 on the play. Going to swing pass it out to Mallard, and Mallard's going to be
brought down by Darren Finley, and Finley got off a block and looks like took the cleat off of number 5 and made a good play, but he ends up slipping it a little bit and gets about 4 or 5 yards for.
And this is what we've been talking about all night. They're trying to get it into that 7-on-7. They're not running the ball. They're not going to pass the ball much. They're not going to run it very much. Their lead running back only has 239 yards on the year. I
don't know if you can hear us because the Texas High band that traveled is as loud as I've ever heard them and going to make it tough on Jacksonville's offense.
I love it. So pass is going to be over the middle, going to be intended for Rivers, caught there, going to be enough for a first down. Timeout, Texas High. Stanford's had enough of this defensive stuff, so he's going to have a conversation, it looks like, and so we're going to keep it here.
Listen, the coaches, they want to see a fire, and they're not happy with just getting by. They want to see you do your job on every play, and they're going to coach as hard as they can, whether they're down 28 or up 28. And it looked like, I don't know if he's getting on Michael Thomas, but it looked like Michael was playing back a little bit on that, but he made a great tackle once the guy got to him, and they got a first down. And I don't know, like I say, I don't know who they were getting on, but I think they just called that timeout just to check them up and say, hey, toughen back up. Let's get the ball. Let's get rolling right, and let's let the offense back out there.
Well, and the thing, too, is you've got to learn from this, because when you get in those teams in the Metroplex, they're going to have the offensive line to go with. There's going to be as balanced as us. You get into the Alitos and the Ennis. Those guys are rolling right now, and so you've got to learn from this right here. Because this quarterback's not a bad quarterback. He just doesn't have a lot around him. And so there's McEwen, and McEwen is going to score for the Indians, and that's going to – the defensive back fell down.
Looks like John Tay got his legs. He was trying to spin to get his head around, and they just they got back deep behind him, and he stumbled. It's something you learn from. It's something. If you do that, you want it to be up 42 to 12 rather than down. But man, I'm telling you, Coach Hawkins and Coach AJ Wilson and Coach the defensive backs coach Spencer, they'll try to get that worked on right now.
Yeah. Solano makes it 13 to 28. So with 7:36 left in the first half, it's going to be 20.
If you're looking for authentic Cajun-style meats prepared and ready to cook and take home, look no further than Lanyard Specialty Meats. We here at Lanyard Specialty Meats select nothing but premium meats, and we season it to perfection so that you'll have all of Acadiana flavor here in your own home. Come by Lanyard Specialty Meats for all your tailgating needs for this football season or hunting season. Remember, Lanyard Specialty Meats.
Lanyards is an official sponsor and proud supporter of Texarkana Game Day.
And welcome back to the Tomato Bowl, where Texas High leads 28-13. Billy, I think you got an update.
How about my Arkansas High Razorbacks in the second quarter? Is it 13-7 up at Morrilton? So Coach Barry Norton and his crew over there, we're really rooting for them, and hopefully they can pull off a victory.
Yeah, they're only playing their 7th game of the year. This is number 8 for us, so that tells you the difference in our score. So
nice.
Basically tried to kick it right at one of our guys and rolled over and.
Yep, it hits him, and that's Darren Finley, and he makes a great recovery. And man, here's the thing. I'm sure what they're saying is we're going to try to get the ball on a little squib kick, because whether we kick it to the 45 or the 15, they're probably going to do the same thing if they recover. But he made a great play, knocked it down, and got on it before they could get to it. And now Brayson McHenry's back out. and looks like in the backfield is number 28 now.
Yeah, Grissom's going to be in the backfield. You know, I was watching Finley in warm-ups. He looks bigger than 6'1" or 6'2".
Man.
He's a big kid. Grissom right up the middle and is going to have a gain of 6 yards, going to bring up 2nd down and 4 for the Tigers at the 49-yard line.
Brought down by number 17, a senior for them, Cameron Fuller, and he's a safety. And if we can keep getting a safety to bring us down, we'll be all right. But he didn't get hit until he gets about 5 or 6 yards.
That just tells you that offensive line, they're so powerful, and I mean they're huge, and people don't realize how big they are until they get here.
Good play by number 2. Good play by Casey Kennedy. We've called him out on offense and defense all night long, but they had Blake Rogers on a little bubble screen, and no telling how far that would have gone because Sellers was out here blocking for him. But great play by Kennedy to step up and jump as high as he could and get a finger on it.
Yeah. Rogers knows that, too. You could tell by his body language. It's like, man, you just stole one from me.
He wanted another one.
So Grissom in at backfield at running back. And McHenry with a hard count and almost had Jacksonville to jump. I think if he'd snapped the ball, you'd have had it there.
3rd and 5 was a good time to call that.
So 3rd and 5 for McHenry. Move Grissom back to his other side. And blitz from the Indians to pick it up. Sellers with
Sellers
the catch.
bobbled it.
And Sellers is going to be a reception, going to be out of bounds at the 20-yard line. So going to be 1st and 10 for the Tigers. Make that the 19-yard line.
Hey, I'm gonna be Sellers kind of bobbled that a little bit. He was so open, he bobbled it, and he did catch it, but I think it was after his butt was down out of bounds. But we got a call there, and it doesn't matter. We're rolling.
Well, it evened up. I think we're.
Yeah, that's right.
So McHenry hands it off to Grissom. Grissom cuts it back to his left, cuts it back right, and keeps going. Fights for more yardage. Is going to be brought down at the. He's going to mark him down at the 6-yard line.
Man, I'm telling you, he got behind. Looked like number 64, Damon Tyler Moore's now in the game, and he got behind him. And I'm telling you, that's who I would have gotten behind. But he was out there wreaking havoc. BD's coming in at tailback.
So Witcher in at tailback or at running back. You'll very rarely see Texas High underneath center, so McHenry in at shotgun, hands it off to Witcher. Witcher goes to cut, and, man, when
there's that man again,
down.
Kennedy. I mean, he's all over the place, number 2 for them. We've called his name out, and we'll call his name out a lot more. So he's making every tackle, and he'll be one of those that they keep running to him, they keep throwing to him, and he's going to be tired by the end of this half. I'm about tired of calling his name, but
Yes.
but he made a great play, and kudos and hats off to him. But it's still 2nd down and goal for the Tigers.
And I'll just tell you, Kennedy's he's just an athlete. Between him and McEwen and Clater, man, those 3 guys, they can make up a team.
You know.
So here we go, McHenry back to pass, and intended for
Sellers.
And,
Number 5, Isaiah Mallard, a junior for cornerback for them, made a great play. We're just running a little wide receiver out slant, and the ball got there right as about the time that it was a great throw by him to Sellers, and it just hit Sellers about the time they hit him from the back. So now we got 3rd down, and hey, it's 28-13, and it's a big down for Texas High.
Yeah, I expected to see Clayton Smith in on this, but looks like
got a timeout maybe?
Got a timeout.
Timeout Jacksonville.
They realized, I think they had a mismatch on the other side.
I think there were a couple of mismatches out there.
Yeah. So with 5:41 left in the half, it's going to be Texas High 28, Jacksonville 13.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting the craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
And welcome back to the Tomato Bowl here in Jacksonville, Texas, where your Texas High Tigers lead 28-13 with 5:41 left in the first half. Eric Aiken along with Billy Lavender. Brian Bolt is off this week. He's in the Duckwoods.
Ready to shoot the Quackers, huh?
Yeah, so we're praying that he gets a limit quick in the morning.
Some of those greenheads, I'm not a hunter, so I don't know much about that.
That was a great statement.
Yeah,
greenheads.
Yeah. But I'll tell you what, Texas High, they're up 28-13, and it's 3rd and goal. Zane Dodson's coming in, and you got Sellers on the other end, but it's a big play for both teams right here.
Yeah, so I look for the fade route to Sellers. And McHenry back to pass. McHenry's going to keep it himself.
Oh!
And he's going to get in for the touchdown.
Wow.
McHenry dives. They're going to say he was out of
my
bounds
gosh.
at the 2-yard line.
How in the world? He left from about the 2 and almost helicoptered into the end zone, but now we got it 4th and goal from about the half-yard line. I don't know how they spot that, but man, he got everybody. And listen, Brayson McHenry, the junior, he's really stepped up this year, but I'm telling you, he doesn't shy away from any contact, and he said, listen, everybody's covered. I'm fixing to take this ball right here, but we got 4th down right here. It's a big play.
I think the best thing he's got to do on that is just make the decision a little bit quicker, and I think he'd have gotten in. Hands it off to Grissom. Grissom's going to come back. Touchdown, Texas High Tigers.
Big
Man,
block.
What a great job by that offensive line.
Man, I'm telling you, the offensive line, we can't say that enough. And for Coach Stanford to have the confidence in the offensive line to run that ball down there near the goal line, and Texas High is going wild, and the band's playing, and anytime that band's playing, you're doing good. But now it makes it 34 with the PAT pending.
Hernandez in to kick the PAT. Dots in the hole. Lavender to snap it. Great snap, great hole. Kick is up, and the kick is good. And so with 5:26 left in the first half, Texas High 35, Jacksonville 13. Right there with that decision Coach Stanford made, that's called a dagger.
That's right.
Demoralizing to a team that thinks, hey, we got to stop. And then all of a sudden we don't have a stop. And so, as a coaching staff, as a football team, you just start going, what else can we do?
Right, and what you do, what Coach Stanford and that staff right there, kudos to Jeremy Harrell on that offensive line, and Coach Clint Toon up here calling the plays, and you got a lot of coaches that go into that. Coach Elliott with the tight ends, his tight ends are what they call H-backs, but we call tight ends. They're having a great night tonight. But all of those guys, it takes all of them, and man, they really invest in these kids, and it really shows. And this team is such a fun team to be around. You and I get to go to some of the practices, and man, just looking when I came into the end zone right there, I saw that net behind the goalpost, and I thought, that's not going to hold Oscar Hernandez. He's been booming them over, so they're having to go find those balls.
That's right. And his offensive line comes over here, man. It's a lot of fun.
Looks like we're kicking deep again. Let's see Oscar's leg.
We're going to go to deep. And he's going to get it high and
that's
a little
down.
bit short, but he's going to get it right in that. Mallard's going to pick it up. And missed tackle there, but he's going to be brought down at the 37-yard line. Looks like by number 38, Ragland in on the tackle there.
That's the defensive back, and here's what they're doing is they're saying, hey, whatever y'all line up in, if you line up for the pooch kick, we're going to kick it deep. If you line up deep, we're going to pooch kick it. Yeah. If you kind of line up one man deep and then all your guys short like you did right there, hey, listen, that's as hard as it can be for a kicker to put it right on the money, but Oscar's done it all year long, and kudos to him, and he's starting to get some looks at some colleges, so that's going to be fun to watch his progression over the year.
So 1st and 10. Slater hands it off, fakes the handoff, and he's going to quarterback keep and going to break a few tackles, going to bring it out to the 40. They're going to mark it down at the 45-yard line. 1st and 10 Indians. Man, just a lot of missed tackles.
Man, he gets about 20 yards, but I'll tell you what he did. He made the correct read on the read option, and Clayton Smith was sitting over there, absolutely standing there waiting for that back. And if he gives it to that back, Clayton will destroy him. But the quarterback made a great play. And listen, this quarterback's good. He's a dual threat. He can do it all. But he made a great run, and Jalen Jones makes the tackle.
So they're going to bring up 1st and 10. Slater back to pass. Goes deep. Has Rivers. And Rivers comes down with a catch. What an athletic play. The ball was a little bit underthrown. And Rivers comes down, going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 35-yard line.
You know, Michael Thomas gets down there, the junior. He gets down there and is in position to make the defensive play, but that receiver just absolutely goes up over him and high points the ball, which you got to do as a receiver or a DB, and that's why they get that play. But, their chunk plays hadn't really been timed plays. They've kind of been thrown up, and they've just made the plays.
And so you know who's working with his quarterback, guy by the last name of McCown. So he's pretty good.
He was pretty good.
Had 12 years in the NFL. Of course, his younger brother Josh is still playing in the NFL, just signed with the Texans. So he comes to every one of their practices. So Luke's been working with him a little bit.
Yeah, they just tried to sneak number 9 out of the backfield or was that number 2? I'm sorry, Kennedy. They tried to sneak him out, and it was well covered, and he just kind of threw that one away. So now they got 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Yeah, 2nd and 10 from the 25, as Billy said, and so Clay, the quarterback, Hinojosa flank to his left, going to take the handoff, and it's going to be brought down after a gain of maybe 2 yards on that.
Jalen Jones stepped up and made that play, and you don't want your safety making all the plays, but I'm telling you, he was playing up for that run and made a great stop. And even though your safety makes the play, he only gets 3 yards, and so now you got it, and maybe a long 2, so you got 7 or 8 yards left for a first down.
So 3rd and 7. So as we wait on the play, a little update, 35 seconds left in the first. Whitehouse and Pine Tree are tied at 7. Boom. Clater with a quarterback keeper. It looks like he wanted to throw it, but just pulled it down and ran it. Going to be 4th down from the 19-yard line. And if you're,
what do you got to do? You got to go for it, don't you?
What else you got to? I mean, you got to do what you got to do.
Jonte steps up and makes the tackle with a couple of other guys, but this is as big a play, if not bigger, than Texas High's 4th and goal down there, and they really need 5 yards to stay in this game. But Texas High defense, we need them to step up one more time right here.
Defense is not. I mean, they've been good tonight, but just not as excellent. And so they're coming. Bringing the house, and they're coming, and. Hinojosa is going to be on the catch out here, but he's going to be short.
Hey, listen.
And so Texas High is going to take over.
Shout out to Texas High's defense. What a great call. Coach A.J. Wilson and Coach Hawkins, they call a blitz. They get it. They look like they sent the house, and they wanted to run a little screen, and we had it blown up. And, man, what a play call by the defense. Those linebackers coach, you got Dalton Franks, you got Coach Kimball, and all of them are working together. And man, we got so many good guys making calls up here and making plays.
All right, so 1st and 10 for the Tigers from the 19-yard line. Takes the handoff, and there's that little screen, and looks like Blake just cut the wrong direction. He had Sellers out there blocking.
Sellers out there blocking.
Get around it.
Well, I'm telling you, but Peter Torres for them, number 14, made a great. It looks like
number 4.
Was it number
Clayton,
4?
Yeah.
Okay, Caleb Clayton. It was either one of them, but one of them make a great play out there, and hats off to them for just making the play.
Yeah.
Zane Dotson comes in on the other side of Sellers.
McHenry back to pass. He hits Sellers outside. Sellers looks like he was a little bit worried about where he was going instead of catching the ball first.
He was trying to run. He saw a lot of green grass. He was trying to make that cut before he caught the ball. And look at here. This is what I noticed, the things I noticed about number 10, Clayton Smith. He's hightailing it to get down here to say, hey, coach, get me in on this side of the ball. I mean, you see him all night doing that. It's kind of funny to watch him. Where is Clayton?
3rd down and 9 with 1:57 left in the first half. McHenry back to pass. He's going to be flushed out of the pocket, but he's going to get rid of it. And so I'm going to bring up 4th down and 9, and I would imagine we're going to punt this one away. Sellers will come in to punt. But then I've seen Jerry go for it here, so you just never know. But of course, so here we go. 4th down and 9. So Sellers in to punt for the Tigers. Back deep is going to be Darren Jones for the Indians. 151 left in the first half. And I'll just tell you, if Indians get it here and score quick, it's going to be a different ball game coming out in the second half. Sellers with a kick. It's going to hit a line drive. Jones is going to field it, going to cut it. But it's going to be brought down by none other than number 81. Who's 81?
That's Trey Lavender. I'll tell you what, it was a little bit low on the snap, but he made up for it, got down there. A couple of guys didn't break down, and he gets his first tackle of the year.
That's right. Hey.
And comes over and gets some love from Dunbar. He's over there pushing him on the sideline.
That's right. Lavender, look at him, man. He's flexing a little bit.
Don't do that.
Yeah, he started flexing and looking up in the stands like he got a girlfriend in the stands.
So, what he did, he said, Coach, put me in on D.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Let's go, defense, right here. Step up.
Middle linebacker. So, all right, here we go. Got later back to pass, and it's going to be thrown a little bit behind him, it looked like. So it's going to be incomplete, going to bring up second down and 10.
Well defended by Finley, and we didn't get anybody with pressure on the quarterback, but they're starting to roll him out, which they start having to experiment with things to do because our defensive line is so strong, and those guys up the middle, we got those corners, but we're starting to get a little push from Jalen Green up the middle and Surratt. So we'll see what they do here on 2nd and 10.
2nd and 10, ball spotted at the 42-yard line. Looks like
start.
All of the receivers left early at the exact same time.
Well, listen, they're just trying to get a little bit of head start. I don't blame them. They're saying, hey, look, Coach, we're down over here 35-13. Give us a little bit of head start, and we'll get down there pretty quick.
So a minute 35 left in the first half.
Like we've talked about, that's just things they can't do, pre-snap penalties. You got 2nd and 10. You're starting to get a little bit of momentum on offense, and now you're 2nd and 10 kind of behind the chains.
And that's the things we talked about. 24 turnovers on the year or actually 25 because they've got one in this game for the Indians. And then those sloppy play, those little penalties, false starts, those types of things. That's what separates good teams and great teams, is doing those things. A lot of pressure on Clater. He sails that one.
I'm telling you, D. Finley's having a really, really good game. He was tight on him. Jackson Halter was over, was kind of underneath, so they had to throw it a little bit up, and D. Fin was right behind him. And here's the thing: they've made some plays in the offensive passing game, a couple of chunk plays that they've just thrown it up, but the other ones were very, very well covered. So you can't knock the defense, but you got to say hats off to the Jacksonville guys for just making some plays. But now you're really behind the chains, and you got 3rd and 15, and defense just slobbering.
Yeah, a minute and a half left in the half. First half is 3rd down and 15 for the Indians. Back to pass. Clater missed a sack there, and it's going to be, looks like, brought down by a host of Tigers. Looks like Jackson Halter and Clayton Smith there on the tackle.
Yep. Tell you, we missed. Oh, there's a flag in the backfield. I wonder if they held to get. Yeah, looks like they're asking Coach Stanford what we want to do.
Yeah, he's going to decline.
He's going to decline it, and the
4th down.
Yeah, the reason he declines it for 4th down, and with a minute 20, he's hoping to get the ball back. Give our offense another chance. Even though they get, if we push them back, it's 3rd down and about 30 or 25, but now it's going to bring up 4th and about 9.5, and we're going to either make them punt. What I would do if I was them right here to not get any more down at the half is I would kind of do a quick kick, so we wouldn't have anybody back. That's what I would do, is just drop my guy back and punt with nobody back. But I'm telling you, that's one of the things that Texas High is probably talking about down there, is saying, hey, Caleb, you're out on the corner, or whoever's at safety, and saying, hey, look, if they do try that quick kick, drop back and make sure you fair catch it, and we'll get out of here and have a chance. But let me tell you something, a minute 20 is an eternity for Texas High's offense, and although we had a kind of a lackluster last last possession, we're marching down the field and kind of scoring at will. So we'll see what they try to do here, 4th and 9, as the teams make their way back out here.
Couple of scoring updates. Pine Tree White House game, which we're keeping a close eye on tonight. Second quarter, 8:40 left in the second quarter. It's tied up at 7-7. Marshall leads Mount Pleasant in the second quarter, 16-0. And in the second quarter, Hooks and Legion Fields are tied at 0. Pleasant Grove plays tomorrow, and so they're playing at the Star tomorrow.
3 o'clock, I believe.
Wish them nothing but the best.
Here we go. 4th and 8 looks like.
4th and 8. They're going to be back to pass, and so it's going to be.
Oh. Listen, they had 2 guys, both of them open. We were kind of playing a shell defense, and sorry for all of the sound effects that I'm giving. I'm not used to doing this. Kevin Sutton kind of called me out on it a little bit. He does a great job with TXK Sports for the Tigers every week, but man, they were open and looked like the underneath receiver tried to catch it with one hand, and now Texas High's got it with 1:14 on Jacksonville's side of the ball and going downhill.
Here's the deal about Kevin Sutton. You and I made the drive. Where's he at?
He'll probably be there next week, I guarantee you.
Right.
He makes a lot of them.
I know it. I appreciate he and his family. Mm-hmm. McHenry back to pass. It's going to be caught out here.
Bounds,
Blake Rogers.
Nice job.
Blake Rogers is going to be out of bounds.
Nice. It was a good tackle over there by number 5 or push out of bounds. But Blake had it in his eyes, and you could tell, he's got a little football savvy, and he was going to get out of bounds no matter what. So now we got 2nd and 1, and I'm looking to go deep right here. I'm looking for a big play.
So McHenry in, Grissom in at running back. Back to pass.
Get out of bounds.
Sellers. And Sellers is going to have enough for the first down.
How many timeouts we got left?
None.
Looks like we
may have 1 timeout left. So we're going to bring up first down.
1:02 left. They're going to roll the clock right here. Trey Roberts in on the edge out there up top.
Who had a great catch last week.
Oh,
Throws
double
it up
move.
for Sellers. Sellers is going to come down with it in the end zone. Touchdown, Tigers.
Listen, and why that works is because Brayson gives a great fake, a great pump, and that cornerback just stutters, and you can't stutter on Sellers out there, and he gets about 5 deep. Hey, shout out to Coach Novak. He just got up about 4 yards in the air on Sellers. Now, I thought Coach Novak was going to go down, but he stayed up, and we got another PAT pending, and we're up 41-13.
Lavender in the snap. Dotson in the hole. The kick is up, and the kick is good. And with 48 seconds left in the first half, it is Texas High 42, Jacksonville 13. And like you said a while ago, with 1.5 minutes left in the quarter,
man,
that's a lot of time for Texas High.
I'm telling you, and two, their backs up against the wall, and I understand them, going for it on that 4th down. But I'm going to try to keep it as close as I can before the half, and quick kick that ball and give us. But I don't know that it makes any difference. No. Like I say, giving us the ball at the 10 or at the 40, it's not really a big difference to us. We can drive down especially on this team, we can drive down the field at will, but look for Oscar not to give them a chance to run this one back, and us to try to get out of here at the half up 42-13.
So I learned something tonight because Bubba Rainwater, who helps with the kickers, taught me that he can set up anywhere inside of the hash mark. So he can set that kick up. Does not have to set it on the X. Could be anywhere inside the hash. So he could move it all the way to this hash or the other.
I know I've seen him they've practiced a bunch on different kicks.
Yeah.
So.
Whoa, he's going to kick it deep and high kick. Great kick. Man, that's like collegiate level, to be honest with you. And so going to be brought down
by number 35. And he, he's had a couple that he's let slip tonight, but man, he did a great job on that tackle, kind of a shout out to him. He's really stepped up, Deshaun White. And Deshaun, I hadn't. Oh my gosh, there's a train coming through here.
Are we at Texas A&M's baseball field?
Man, if y'all hear a train horn, it is not Brayson McHenry and Ryan Sellers that you hear. There is actually a train going right through just behind the end zone. There it is. It's letting us know it's here, but Jacksonville's got the ball now.
So Jacksonville back in on offense. Slater's going to hand it off to Hinojosa. Hinojosa's going to go right up the middle. Going to be.
Let me tell you something.
Pretty quick.
When Jackson Halter gets a hand on you, you're going down, and looks like they're gonna, they're gonna try to run another play, but they're letting that clock run, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, I think I'd almost let it run out they're going to let it run out. He's sending the guys into the locker room now, and so they're going to let the clock wind down in the second quarter. And it's going to be Texas High 42, Jacksonville Indians 13 as we come to halftime here at the Tomato Bowl. We're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back here in just a few minutes.
Right now at all Greg Orr Auto Collection locations in Texarkana. Shop from your phone, online, or in person, and make no payments up to 120 days with record low interest rates, drastic price reductions, and huge incentives on our vast and pristine selection. Plus, for sales or service, we will even pick up and deliver your vehicle to you. For all the money-saving details, please visit gregorauto.com. That's gregorauto.com.
Welcome back here to the Tomato Bowl here in Jacksonville, Texas. We just want to let you know, because of our issues that we had in pregame and just technical issues, we're going to put a shot and you're going to be able to watch the Jacksonville band. We apologize for it not being from the other side of the field, but we could not get access to the other side of the field, so it will be from our side of the field. So we'll return to action about 5 minutes before the third quarter begins, and so we will see you back here in about 22 minutes.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to tonight's halftime performance. Please welcome the Jacksonville Fight Indian Band and Cherokee Chargers. Charmer officers for the 2020-2021 school year are, from left to right, Senior Lieutenant Jada Mesa, First Lieutenant Katie Lucky, Senior Lieutenant Yasmin Badgett, Junior Lieutenant Brittany Samaniego, and in the center, your captain, Morgan Washburn. Charmer Sergeants for the 2020-2021 school year are Head Sergeant McKenna Raines, Sergeant Esmeralda Medrano, Sergeant Flora Angeles, Sergeant Monica Gowan, Sergeant Brooklyn Hunter, Sergeant Roy Simpson. And this week, the Charmers of the week are Lisbeth Muniz and Cynthia Espinosa. Watch now as the Charmers perform an exciting 2020 Corona-friendly precision kick routine to Salt Peppa's hit, Push It. The Charmers are under the direction of Laura Guidry and Tiffany Alexander. Ladies and gentlemen, the award-winning Cherokee Charmers. And now, introducing the Jacksonville Indian Majorettes, directed by Brianne G. Last week, on Wednesday, November 11th, our Majorettes competed at the UIL Twirling Solo and Ensemble competition. Our Majorettes brought home 25 first division medals. 13 of these young ladies have also qualified to compete at the 2020 state UIL competition later this school year. Congratulations, ladies. Majorette officers are Senior Lieutenant Natalia Juarez, First Lieutenant Vanessa Sanchez, Captain Shelby Cumby, and Captain Mackenzie Ross. Twirler of the week is Ellie Berry. Watch now as the Jacksonville Majorettes perform an exciting 3-baton routine to All I Do Is Win by DJ Cumby. The Jacksonville Independent School District is proud to present the 2020-2021 Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. This week, on Wednesday, November 18th, the band competed at the UIL marching competition in Carthage, Texas. We are proud to announce that the Jacksonville Indian Band received a first division rating. We would also like to congratulate the Texas High Band on their first division rating. The band will perform their award-winning drill to Shriners Parade March, percussion feature Circus B, and them basses. The band is under the field direction of junior drum majors Maria Morales and senior drum majors Jenna Armitage and Hallie Hall. Now, at the center of the field, one of the most decorated military marching bands in the state of Texas. That classic look, that awesome sound, that cry heard across the land. The Jacksonville Fighting Indian Band. 9th Indian Band is under the direction of Donnie Barrier, Preston Parker, Preston Long, Catherine Barrier, Kim Beard, and Brianne G. Freshmen of the week are Brennan Hack and Shelby Fiscal.
Well, we are back here at the Tomato Bowl, and man, what a halftime show by the Jacksonville band, that old military style band.
I'll tell you, I'm not a, I'm a Razorback fan, so I'm not an A&M fan, but boy, I sure do like that military band, and A&M's got one of the best, but Jacksonville's got a good band.
Yeah, did a great job there. So both teams are out, getting warmed up, stretched out once again for the second half. About looks like about 2 to 3 minutes left in halftime, and man, first half, when the game began, Jacksonville drives down, gets an early score, makes it 6-0. Misses the extra point, but Texas High, man, they just responded with very quickly, went tempo.
Scored maybe three touchdowns in a row, but really, 42-7 after that first drive by Jacksonville, and Texas High gets started fast, like we said, and on our keys to the game, and not many turnovers, and kind of got it going in their direction. But Jacksonville, just like we thought they would do, went for it on a couple of fourth downs, and turned it over one time, once or twice, and really Texas High capitalized on it. And I don't know what Texas High is going to do, but if they come out of here like they have in the last couple of games when they've gotten a big lead, we're going to see a steady dose of the run, and maybe get some of our starters out as soon as we can. But I expect them to play at least that first drive, and maybe if we don't score, maybe several drives in the first part of the second half.
And it's good to have a game like this from a aspect of, I was talking to Coach Stanford earlier today, and just basically stay injury-free.
Right.
Just get out of a game without injuries. We lost our running back last week. I look for him to be back next week. I talked to him before the game. He's doing great. So Braylon Stewart, we don't know for sure. That's all up to the coaching staff. But we certainly hope that he comes back next week. Even though you and I have great relationships with coaches, we don't make those decisions.
That's right. That's right.
But, just to get these guys, and as well as what it does is it gives those second team and third team guys some time on a Friday night, because you never know when you're going to have an injury.
Right.
You never know late in the
That's right.
playoffs when you need depth, when you need something. I mean, you just never know what's going to happen, and it's so different this year.
And with under a minute left before we kick it back off, and Texas High coming back out here, and you can hear the cowbells and the fans kind of going crazy, and some fat heads going up. You can just feel like Coach Stanford's probably preached in there just like he did last week. Hey, let's not take anything for granted. Let's go back out there, score 0-0. Let's get going and do what we need to do. I think, are we getting the ball first in the second half? Because they won the toss. They got it first. But I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what I really like this game, and what I've seen over the last several games is Texas High is putting some different wrinkles in every week and just adding to their repertoire. And this game tonight seems like it's, hey, get the ball to Nate Minnie a little bit. Show, we hadn't really, other than a Tiger package run, Nate Minnie and Caden Miller out there at the same time, but they're playing a lot together tonight, and they're kind of
So you can hear the fans yelling, "Get the ball out!"
They're trying to strip us over there.
So Witcher with a great carry there.
Sounds like if you lost us for a few plays there, we're back. But Texas High is driving and has the ball. Looks like 3rd and a long 4 here. But they've kind of been just running the ball right down Jacksonville's throat this drive, like we expected.
And those of you that are home, if you hear cars and vehicles around and Sellers on the tunnel screen. Sellers going to break free. Sellers to the 5. Touchdown, Texas High.
I'll tell you what, that was a great play design, but Sellers out there just absolutely weaves in and out of all of their players and makes about 3 cuts and is untouched from about the 20-yard line in for a touchdown, and that's exactly what Texas High needed to do. That's the first completion of the second half, but they just really ran it down Jacksonville's throat.
I've been impressed with Sellers the last 2 games. He's playing to that Division I potential that he is. And so Hernandez's kick is up, and it is good. And so with 8:38 left in the third quarter, Texas High takes a commanding lead, 49-13. What a way to start the second half and to come out commanding. And great job by the Tigers there on that opening drive of the second half, leading 49-13. You know, at the beginning of the game, we talked about just different key things of the game, but I will tell you, the quarterback for Texas High is having an unbelievable season. When you look at his numbers, I don't know what his yardage is tonight, but I do know this: on the season, his completion percentage is 65%. Wow. And anybody would love to have that kind of completions percentage.
Yeah, and it's going up tonight for sure.
With 2 interceptions. 2 interceptions.
Wow.
And, I mean, that's the stats across the line are just smart.
And one of those was tipped by a receiver, and another one maybe someone. I mean, he's had a hell of a year, but and it just keeps getting stronger. But Oscar Hernandez back to kick.
Looks like he's going to kick it deep, and I think his goal is to put it through the end zone. So kick is up, and he's going to kick a high kick, going to be fielded at the 15-yard line. And he's going to break free, going to get the edge, and he's going to cut back. Mallard is going to be
Let me tell you something.
down at the 25-yard line.
Trey Roberts might have grabbed some face mask there, but there was one person on that team that you were not going to outrun right there. And I think what we're doing, and Trey Roberts makes the tackle at about the 26, but I'm guessing they're fixing to call a face mask, and they are, and they're going to tack it on, and they're going to be inside our 20 to start. And Coach Hawkins is a little bit upset, but we lost containment over there, and I think that's why we're kicking it deep right now. Is we're trying to we're saying, hey, we got a comfortable lead. Let's work on this. Let's see what we need to work on and what we're doing wrong. And so it's just, I think we're not breaking down when we get down there. But man, I'm telling you, those coaches know a lot more than me, and they're going to work on it, and they study a lot of film. But here comes Jacksonville with a short field.
So hands it off to Hinojosa.
Oh.
Hinojosa is going to be brought down from behind by
Derek Brown.
Derek Brown was not having that right there.
I'm telling you, if you don't get a chip on those edges and you don't run straight up the middle and have a hole, those defensive ends are going to be right on you, and that's what Derek Brown was right there. And we've talked about him time after time, and we had him on game day last night at one of our sponsors, Walk-Ons. But Derek Brown is a beast, and he loves being able to play on that other side from Clayton because he gets a lot of balls coming his way. That one was going away from him, and he tracked him down.
So I was looking at my notes here, something I failed to tell you earlier. The first meeting between these two teams was 1926.
Wow.
So a long time ago. Clayton on the
Let me tell you something.
pass.
Morgan Smith's going to have a field day with that because that was right in Caleb Arnold's hands. And I'm not going to say what Morgan calls him because only Morgan can call him that. I've known Caleb for a long time, love him like a son, and he comes from great stock and had a lot of brothers who've played here at Texas High. But man, he was in a perfect position, and that guy got to him right as about the time the ball did, but man, he set up perfect, and Texas High defense worked well on that. Now you got 3rd and 12.
Texas High band cranks up to help out this defense. This year they've just brought a pep band, and that pep band has been a big factor.
Nice job. You know, we kind of sent, you know, look at that guy. That's Hines in the backfield, number 33. And, you know, I've noticed we're blitzing a little bit more as they get deeper in our territory, and it makes the quarterback make a rush judgment, and he had to throw that over, and it looks like they're going to settle for a field goal here on 4th and 12. And they've had some problems in the kicking game, so and it looks like a number 98. Is it 98? 88?
Yes, going to be Jose Solano.
High snap. He gets it down. That's a good kick.
Kick is up, and the kick is good.
Hey, really good job by the holder. The snap was a little bit high, but Texas High's defense with a big stand, because, you know, a lot of times they got the ball at about inside our 20 to start off, and they hold them to 3 points.
So it's 7:22 left in the third quarter. Texas High 49.
Jacksonville 16.
Jacksonville 16.
Now they got to kick to us.
So they got to kick to us. Here's what I look for. That's what we saw last week is Texas High. They're going to keep their starters in through the third quarter, and then in the fourth quarter start working some other guys in and start just making sure, like I said earlier, just to protect from injuries.
You know, and a lot of times you'll have fans that'll say, hey, get my kid in or get some of the second string in and don't hurt the starters. But, you know.
Parents never say get my kid
they
in.
do. I've heard it. But, you know, here's the thing is you want to get your guys a full game. So you can't always just take somebody out after a half. You want to get them, you know, used to the game. You don't want, you know, because we've had several of these in a row.
Yeah, and so just a scoring update, White House and Pine Tree are 7-7 at half. I'm going to do a little, like, you try to look like he tried to onside kick, but it looked like more like a corner kick.
Yeah,
he's soccer and kicks it straight out of bounds.
He's squibbing it over there near Trey's side and trying to get a bite and a bounce to hit one of our players, but both times Trey's just let that one go out of bounds, and we'll get a 5-yard penalty tacked on to it, and we'll start from looks like about the 42-yard line. Our 42.
So Texas High 1st and 10 at 42-yard line.
Got Grissom back in the backfield, and Trey Roberts stretched out to this side, and Zane Dodson at receivers. Nate Minnie in the backfield.
Yeah, Nate in at the H as the H-back. Grissom in, and he gets the handoff. Going to take it along the right side, and I just have to say, if Stewart is in the game, I have a feeling he scores on that because it is wide open between the tackles.
But I'll tell you what, Grissom took that opportunity to put his head down and make that guy pay, and it's 6-7 yards downfield, so now you got a 2nd and 4.
Texas High has got the ball at the 48-yard line, their own 48-yard line. Do like a little muddle huddle like you see at Auburn. Going to hand it off to Grissom. Grissom's going to take it. And, man, he is one man away from breaking that, and there is nothing but green grass in front of him. But it's going to be enough for first down and 10.
That's right. He's going to get us a couple of first downs, and now Guy Johnson's going to come in to give him a little break. Muddle huddle. I like that. Look at you.
Yeah.
Auburn, little Gus Bus stuff.
Hey, man. I know about those guys. So I like those guys. So, obviously, I bet you this is going to be another run play with Witcher in. Witcher's going to get it. He's going to come to our side. He's going to have a hole and going to fumble the ball.
It was actually Guy Johnson, and he had that problem. That's all right. Those 17 and 13 look the same, but that ball, I was down at halftime on the field, and it's getting a little bit of moisture down there, and so that ball gets a little bit slick, and the guy just got his arm on it, kind of popped out from Guy, and now Texas High will turn the ball over, something that we hadn't been doing all year, but we'll get defense make a quick stand, and we can get the ball back.
Yeah. He did that last week, and so there's McHenry with the leadership going over to him.
Right.
Hey, it's okay. We're going to get him back. We got defense, and so just hang in there. Keep carrying the ball. That's all you can do is you got to shake that off. So And I apologize for calling him Witcher. That is Guy Johnson. So it's
13 and 17 look alike.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So speaking of 13, they're going to put in number 13. Looks like it's going to be
Malachi Williams.
There
you go. Just wait a couple seconds. That'd make our job easy. But
they've got two number 13.
There you go. No wonder. So Jackson Halter meets him in the hole about 4 yards downfield, and they get 5 yards. 4 or 5 yards, and that's what they were doing at the first of the game, and it makes it a whole lot easier on their offense to have 2nd and 5, 2nd and 6 than it does 2nd and 12.
And that's the thing with their quarterback, though. If we can get pressure on him throwing off that back foot, he's going to sail it every time. So let's see what we do right here. We're going to hand it off once again to Williams. Williams is going to take it, and he is going to get smoked on his way out of bounds. And I think the defensive back was just telling him, hey, I love you a little bit.
Yeah, he said, I love you real close to him. Number 15, is that Beavers?
That's Beavers.
Halter was out there to make the tackle, but Beavers came in and filled the gap and killed him. And there's a hold on the play, which will back them up. And that second, I don't know, would have been 3rd and 5, 3rd and 4, but we're going to back them up 10 and get them in a 2nd down and long and get them on our side to where we can really set the pace right here.
2nd down and 17. Ball at the 38-yard line of the Indians.
I'm thinking a little tunnel screen or a screen right here to get us coming at them, but I think 2nd and 17. I think we're gonna play kind of safe. So I don't know if a screen will
work.
Notice
they're not playing press right now. They're playing more of a zone coverage. Clayton Smith with the pressure. Intercepted. And so Darren Finley with the interception, and he doesn't know what to do.
But he looks like a DB.
He looks exactly like a DB. Linebacker with the interception.
I'm telling you,
so he's got the turnover bell waiting.
I'm telling you, here it comes. But D-Fin has had a big night, and it's just getting bigger. But he sat back in coverage and read that play perfectly to get that pick, and it's going to put us, the defense has stepped up again, and it's going to put us on their side of the field on about the 43, 44-yard line going downhill, and now you got Grissom back at tailback, and Dodson and Trey Roberts out wide.
Looking at Frank, Coach Frank's down here, man. He's pumped up about that one for his linebackers. Grissom with a carry up the middle, and he breaks another tackle, spin move, and he's going to have a gain of 14 yards, going to bring up 1st and 10 at the 26-yard line.
I keep becoming a fan up here, and kind of you're getting some of the reactions from me. But I'm telling you, I'm watching a kid, a sophomore, number 28, Grissom. I'm watching him grow up tonight, and he's getting a lot of carries. I think with that fumble from Guy, he's going to get a lot more, and he's really stepping up in a big time situation.
Man, that could help us in the playoffs big time with Stewart, and with Anderson out with the injury. He's out for the year, so that's going to help us a lot with having Grissom in to be able to rotate in quite a bit.
And we're not writing off Guy Johnson by any means.
Absolutely.
He's just had he's had a couple of games where he's fumbled. But let me tell you something. They'll have him going through some stuff this week, and he won't fumble it anymore. And he'll down the stretch. He's going to be one of our main cogs. We're going to have a lot of cogs in that wheel. And I like that I've seen McHenry and a few of those guys go over to him and pick him up.
Well, and that's what a team does. When a guy messes up, you just go help him out. So McHenry back to pass. He's got Zane Dotson. Dotson is going to have a gain of 12 yards. Well, excuse me, not 12 yards. Just enough for the 1st down.
Yeah, Dotson takes a lick by number 14, Peter Torres, and gets out of bounds. That was one of those catches where you're fixing to get hit, but you still hold on to the ball and make the play, and Dotson did a real good job right there.
So 1st down and 10 at the 13-yard line for the Tigers. Looking to put more points on the board with 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Been a quick 3rd quarter. A lot of running. So Grissom, man, picking his way around, turns nothing into something. Going to have a gain of 3 yards. Going to bring up second down and 7.
Tell you another thing I saw, Jaden Kelly, tight end, H-back, number 45, gets a big block downfield. It doesn't end up springing anything, but it shows those guys going and working downfield, and that was about 15 yards downfield. He and one of the linemen, Hayden Harrell, are down there both making a block, and those are the little things that we talk about that a team has to do to get to the next level.
Henry, little miscommunication there on the handoff. And
man,
unfortunately, Witcher was able to haul it in and just, hey, we live to play another down. Sometimes you're just going to have that happen.
Yeah, and I think Witcher wanted that ball, but I think McHenry saw that guy coming down and tried to keep that ball. And if he keeps the ball, he may walk into the end zone on the other side. But it was a good step up by their defensive end to make that play.
Yeah, he's reading that defensive end. If that defensive end comes outside, he hands it off. It's inside. So checked into the game is none other than number 81, Trey Lavender, with looks like Trey Roberts and Zane Dotson. Back to pass, setting up the screen, but it's not there. He looks like he fell down. Grissom fell down in the middle of that, and so couldn't get it off. McHenry just throws it away. And so Hernandez is going to come in for a field goal attempt.
Trey went out there and put those gloves on. Now he's got to take those gloves off to snap. We're going to line up, looks like for about a 31-yarder from Oscar.
So 31-yard attempt. So with Dotson to hold, Hernandez to kick, and Lavender to snap it. Kick is up.
Man, he is on the money tonight, baby. I'm telling you. Good snap, good hold, good kick, and Oscar is perfect tonight. And that was drilled and would have been good for no telling how far, but it hits right in the back of the net.
So with 20 seconds left in the third quarter, Texas High 52, Indians 16.
We're going to keep it here till the end of the quarter, and I'm telling you, those are some of the things. Hey, you didn't get a touchdown on that drive, but you got to work on field goal from a distance, that's not normal, and get Oscar a little try. So I think we start at the end of this quarter, start getting some people in to play. But I'm anxious to see how we play this kickoff, because it's kind of hurt us on the deep kicks. And what we may do is see how we were coached and see if we can step up to the way we were coached, and may just kick it deep to 5 and say, hey, if you can beat us, more power to you, but we're coming right at you.
So White House is down to Pine Tree 14-7 with 10:18 left in the third quarter.
Big game. Looks like Oscar's going to kick a little pooch kick over to the side the way it's lined up. So about the 20 is where I'm expecting this one.
He's going to squib kick it. It's going to hit the up man, and it's going to be recovered
by number 7, Darian Jones, and great job by him. And he knew that it was touched, and he had to just jump on it before Texas High was able to get to it. But that's why you kick that squibs kick sometimes, is you try to kick it right at a guy, and every now and then you're not going to hit him, but every now and then you're going to get a spot and maybe work one out.
So it looks like we're rotating some guys in.
Yeah.
And so getting some guys some great playing time as we expected. Third quarter is about to come to an end, headed into the fourth quarter. Entire new defensive line.
You see some of these guys, Braxton White, and you're like, he looks just like Clayton and D Brown. You see some of these guys, and we don't. It's a good pass and catch.
So ball caught by number 3, Rivers.
Jalen Jones runs him out of bounds, and Texas High, has a maybe 1-2 starters in the secondary, but like you said, they've got some new linebackers and defensive line.
Looked like there was a little confusion on lining up, just kind of where everybody goes, and going to leave Hines in there, and he's going to be the quarterback of the defense. Looks like for the fourth quarter, and so. If they score quick here, though, I would imagine the starters may go back in. But
it's a good play.
Going to get it back out to Kennedy. Kennedy's going to have a great game, and so that's going to bring us into the end of the third quarter with Texas High leading 52-16. We will be back right after these messages.
Beautiful, isn't it? Beautiful, handcrafted stone is our passion, and we ensure our customers receive the quality they deserve. We stand by our word, we stand by our products, services, and work that we do. Our team of experienced craftsmen and product experts have been perfecting the craft of fabricating and installing stone since 1998. Visit the Design Center at Red River Lumber to see the many beautiful stone options available for your next project.
Welcome back to the Tomato Bowl here in Jacksonville. Beautiful night for football, cool, a little bit of damp air. Not a bad crowd from Texas High. It is quite of a jaunt. It is quite of a jaunt, and there is no interstate between here and there. I would say to everybody that's headed home here in a little bit, watch out for deer because they're going to be out on those back roads that we've got to travel. So hopefully everybody will get out ahead of me so they can hit all the deer before I get down the road a little bit. So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians, and they're going to have a great carry to get it down inside the 20-yard line. Going to bring up 2nd down and 5. And looking ahead for the Tigers as we're into the 4th quarter, most of your starters are out, and we're going to try to call as many names as we possibly can for the Tigers.
See Tyler Harris comes in at linebacker.
But looking ahead for the Tigers, next week got Nacogdoches, as we stated, going to be a 5 o'clock start on Friday at Nacogdoches.
Day after Thanksgiving.
And then it's going to end at the regular season will end at Tiger Stadium.
Against White House.
Against White House 2 weeks from tonight. But the good news is that's not the last game at Tiger Stadium.
That's
because
right. If we win the district.
6A, the top 2 seeds in district they're required to host the home game.
And we don't mind doing that.
Not at all. So
as many as we can get at Tiger Stadium at Grimm Park, we will take them for sure.
That's right. And so with White House down 14-7, I mean, that's going to help Texas High. Looks like they're at least going to have the number 2 seed, and we expect for them to have the top seed in the district. And so be looking for that. And it's going to be a hold on the play.
Yeah, right here. You can see it. Back. Number 50 on looks like on Jacquez Clark, who probably would have gotten to the quarterback, and really the only guy that was really anywhere in the vicinity. But they had a screen pass set up on the edge that he just walked into the end zone, but it was a clear hold. And he basically just tackled him, so they're going to move it back 10 yards and get to replay the first down. Coach Hawkins, Coach Green, these co-defensive coordinators, they don't want to see a drop-off from their guys that go in. He says, hey, we want to play smash-mouth football. We're Texas Tigers defense, and it doesn't matter whether you're 2nd string or 3rd string or hardly ever in there. You get in there and you give me everything you got. And so he's evaluating. They're evaluating a lot of guys right now.
Yep. So going to bring 1st and goal from the 17-yard line. Played about the pass. And it's going to be intercepted by Caleb Arnold.
Watch behind you.
And Arnold is going to be brought down, but what an interception.
I think there's a flag way back right where he I'll tell you what, that was a beanbag dropped right there. So Caleb made he's laying on the... Is it a flag? It is a flag.
It's a flag. Coach is trying to get him back down here.
It looked like Caleb. We hope he's okay. He's moving. I can't tell what's going on, but man, he made a heck of a play, and I know Morgan likes to call him stoneheads, and they're helping him up, and
he was brought down a little bit hard there.
He didn't expect that guy to catch him. Yeah. Looks like maybe a cramp or something, so that's good. But is that Caleb? That's not Caleb. Yeah.
Folks, we're trying to see it. They've got gray jerseys on, and when they get in certain parts of the field, it's hard to tell who it is from up here.
Yeah, I think his
we don't have a monitor.
His deal's riding up, but man.
Looks like he's
I'm
got
sorry,
a
I'm
little
laughing,
hamstring.
but
Looks like he's got a little hamstring.
He's walking
injury.
kind of gingerly, but man, he made a hell of a pick and did it with one hand. And it looks, did they call PI? Because it looked like maybe someone else might have hit the receiver. So I don't know what they called, but they're going to give them the ball down there.
First and 10 for the Indians at the 17-yard line. Ball's going to be fumbled in the backfield.
I can't tell.
Looks like he got
scrum.
He got right back on it.
Texas High is pointing that way.
Every player points that direction.
Yeah, that's okay.
You know, so,
I'm just reporting. I just don't. Hey, I'll tell you. Look what's going on down here. Immediately when Caleb came off the field, every guy from Texas High walks down to him, patting him on the hat, saying, "Man, great play, way to go!" You know, and that's what you want to see. That's a team working together, and those guys are pulling. You know, not everybody wants to be the star. They're all pulling for each other, and man, that's great to see down there. But that was a great pick.
So 2nd down and 20.
Second down in Henderson.
So. And Plater's going to be flushed out of the pocket and going to get it away, and they're going to say, looks like they might. It's incomplete pass.
It's incomplete, but man, he mauled him over there, and I can't tell.
Mallard. It was intended for Mallard over on that side, and it's hard to tell who's who, and these guys coming in. And what their jersey numbers are, so we apologize. Looks like that's going to be Ragland that's over there.
Is it Ragland?
They're going to get him.
Yep, and they're looks like they're going to bring in number 49 for Texas High. We don't have his. You know, we're getting to play a lot of guys, and some of them aren't on our sheet. But man, I'm telling you that this is what you want. You want to see some guys stepping up. So now that it looks like they're going to get it almost first and goal. Looks like they can get a first down at the inch. But we want to see a defense step up right here, and that's what the coaches want to see.
And these are great coaching moments for these younger guys. And, man, Plater had a wide open Jones, but like I said, his feet are moving, and he sails the ball when his feet are moving.
Getting a little pressure from Jacquez Clark, and I'm telling you, if you can just make somebody move their feet and make them, you know, he's having to roll to his left, and he's a right-handed passer, so he just wasn't able to get the touch on the ball that he wanted. And look, we keep rotating defensive line. Those two guys that went in, they look bigger than our starting guys.
Yeah. Tyson Mixon, a senior.
Yeah.
And so great for the seniors getting in, and Williams, 6'5", 280.
Okay, he's a good-sized boy.
He's a good-sized boy right there. So,
gosh.
Oh, my goodness, we're going to have another pass interference.
And it was.
And, man, he was all over him. Deshaun White.
Yeah, Deshaun's made a couple of good plays tonight, and Deshaun, you know, he was almost
at himself like, me?
That's all right. That's what you do. Maybe you get the next one, but Deshaun, little Dougie, they call him. He made a really good play. Made a pick six. I think we were in maybe Mount Pleasant, but you know, he's one of those guys that he hadn't gotten a lot of notoriety over the 4 years, but he's one of those guys that smiles all the time, loves practice, and the whole team absolutely loves him. And now we got a score update.
Yeah, so Pine Tree is leading White House with 6 minutes left in the third quarter, 21-7. That's somewhat could be an upset.
Ball game's not over, but like we said, White House, you know, they had an undefeated district, but they hadn't played any of the big teams yet. Oh, nice job.
Oh, man, missed tackle, another missed tackle. And
Tyler Harris blitzed and got through two guys, and he didn't make the tackle, but he flushed the quarterback out, and it's going to bring up 2nd and goal.
And what I appreciate about these coaches, I'm watching Coach Wilson, is he's simply just teaching, having them learn, telling them what to do, teaching them where to go, really working on some things like, hey, you've got to know these things, even though they may not be a, quote, starter. They may be in the game next week because of an injury. I mean, who would have known? Look at Guy Johnson and Grisham and those guys. They'd have never known they'd have been playing a lot tonight, and Witcher. But all of a sudden, Witcher scores 2 touchdowns tonight. He never would have known that 3 weeks ago. So
reverse.
A little reverse,
and
took advantage of some young guys and a great seal block. And so McEwen's going to be in for the touchdown for the Indians. And with 6:10 left in the ball game, Texas High 52, Indians 22 with the kick.
Coach Hawkins didn't like that, but I saw Coach Stanford kind of give him the hand, and they worked with each other for several years, and they know each other. And he's like, "Yeah, you're right, Coach. I'm not going to get on to him. That's something he doesn't see every day."
Yeah. So kick is another low snap, but the kick is up and it's through. So with 6:10 left in the fourth quarter, Texas High 52,
I'm thinking it's
Jacksonville 23.
I'm thinking it's going to be a hands team right here. If they're running with 6 minutes left and down, 29 points, if they're running reverses, then I'm thinking that they also are going to probably try an onside kick, and so it looks like they got hands team out there.
Yeah, so
like we expected.
We're standing next to the coach's box, and they're starting to pack it up and going to get out of here a little bit early, getting all the hardware out of here.
Hey, listen, if y'all are listening to us, we're not packing it up. We're staying. We're in it for the long haul.
That's right.
So we're going to be here till it's over, and probably a little bit after it's over. But looks like they got the hands team out and expecting a little onside kick here.
Absolutely. So they got. Looking at Zane Dotson, I'm thinking, Zane, you need to turn around. The kick's coming from the other direction.
He just kind of instructing out there, and just in case they are going to kick it deep, we got Trey Roberts back there and got BD on this side. So looks like he's set up to pooch over there to Blake Rogers' side, and
got McHenry out there. It looks like, is that him over on the other side?
No, they wouldn't do that.
Oh no, it's not. You're right.
Oh, they're offsides. Onside kick.
So it had Minnie up on the front, and that was Zane Dotson in the back. So my mistake. It's right. Like I say, on the other side of the field, it is very hard to tell a 6, an 8, a 7, a 13.
Yeah. Looks like a few of the starters going out on offense. They got out there. So.
Yep. And I see number 81 stepping out there, man. Getting a third and long situation.
The tuba song. When the tuba song comes out, brother, it is over. And they are playing it with 6:05 left.
Yeah. So Dotson steps in at quarterback tonight with Grissom in. Hands it off to Grissom up the middle. And he's going to break a tackle and going to have a great gain of 8 yards. Going to bring up second down and 2 at the 46-yard line. Texas High still doing their tempo.
Still doing their tempo. And I'll tell you, another guy we got in is Zach Dunbar. He's another 4-year player for Texas High, and he's out wide, and I'd like to see him get a pass right here and get a completion. Zane, we're trying to when we bring Zane in, we'll run him over to the side, and we're trying to bleed as much time off the clock as we can.
Coach Toon has made his way down to the field and is calling everything from the field, and so Dotson will run over and get the play. They're going to just let the clock keep running with 5 minutes left in the ball game. Texas High is leading 52-23.
Good run by Grissom, picks up a first down, and that's what you want from this offense right now. Is you want your offensive line to go out and block, and you want your running back to run as hard as he can and keep moving those chains, and that moving those chains will eat up that clock for sure. It's like 72's checked in on the line. Who's 72? 72, John Jack.
Witcher in. Witcher gets the handoff, cuts it back.
Great cut.
He can flat cut on a dime. I think Bolt texted me a while ago, like knife cut. Man, he can go.
Number 60 out there blocking in front of him. Richard Jackson, he's a sophomore, 6 foot 250. He's a good baseball player also, but he's out there leading blocks, and they pick up 9 yards on first down, and they're rolling. I don't expect them to pass it, but man, we're just chewing up that clock, and like I say, the band is going wild, playing the tuba song, and when it plays, it's over.
So It looks like we probably could use 2 more first downs, and then it's going to be the greatest formation in football, the victory formation. Witcher with a handoff, and he cuts it back, and Witcher is determined to have 3 scores on the night.
Nate Minnie, keep pushing him, baby. Nate Minnie's back out there, and he throws a seal block, and then when Witcher is wrapped up, Nate pushes him for another extra couple of yards. And Texas High is keep churning that clock and keep grinding out first downs.
So it's going to be under 3 minutes when they snap the ball this time. Dotson gets the play, runs in, and we'll let his guys know what it is. Going to be snapping the ball with less than 10 seconds on the play clock, which is what you want. You get that play clock down as far as you can. And going to have movement on the line, and he realized that he just couldn't stop. He just kept going backwards.
Listen, when a guy that big moves on the line, everybody sees him. But, those are some things we talked about. But this game is well in hand. That clock's running, even though they're moving the ball back, and as well it should. And, both teams want to see a fight for another day. But they're going to keep bleeding this clock and run this game out. And Texas High, I don't think, is going to try to score. No. They've done everything that they needed to do, everything that they came to prove, and they're going to run this clock out.
Yeah, and that's what I talked to Matt about, because he was dreading playing us this week, and I said, listen, if we get a big lead, he's going to put a lot of young guys in, and then he is just going to run the clock. He's not here to try to demoralize your team whatsoever, but when they give it to you, you can't just stop. You can't tell a kid don't score that's never scored before. You're going to let him score. So,
shout out to Texas High, their cheer team. They travel every time we do, and they really get all of the crowd. And the student section, the student section is a lot of the high steppers. The high steppers can't perform and they can't travel, but a lot of them come and support these guys, and it takes all of us. And like I say, that Tiger band, they've been really heck on the road. Oh, nice move by Witcher.
Witcher tries to cut it back. Going to bring up 3rd down.
Zach Dunbar getting in a look. Dunbar getting in a little action out there and giving the 5 a shove, and then pointing at the scoreboard and letting him know, hey, you should have done more fighting at the first of this game. It's too late right now. No, it's good to get people like that Zach Dunbar mentioned. He's back in victory formation right here, and guys that go through every practice every week for 4 years, get them some play-in time and really get rolling. So, like you say, Eric, what formation is this?
This is the greatest formation in football, the victory formation. Going to snap it with 2 or 3 seconds, try to wear a little bit of time off the clock, and I would imagine the clock operator, if he's smart enough, and that is going to be our ball game. And so with time ticking away in the in the fourth quarter, that's going to be ball game, 52-23. Texas High comes away and remains undefeated on the season as well as in district play.
They hold serve tonight just like they should have, and it's one of those games that didn't exactly go how we thought it was going to be, but the end result is kind of what we expected.
Absolutely, and I felt like there's going to be a lot of things on film that they're going to be working on, because they try to you could just tell Coach Stanford tried some things tonight in order to just try to see what we can do, because he got to a place where he almost treated it like a scrimmage game. And to get a lot of kids in just to try some things kind of reminded me of when we were playing Longview, just trying to figure out who can do what.
That's right.
And but man, what a great place to play a football game, the Tomato Bowl. I know that they're starting to get some playoff games here, and man, I just want to say, I know that maybe we had some technical issues, but I know for the media guys, for Matt Montgomery, their help this week as far as with helping us out get everything was great. And Billy, great job.
Man, I sure do appreciate y'all letting me step in for Brian, and he'll be back next week. But another great performance by Texarkana Game Day and the Texas High Tigers, and they're going to get to go over and celebrate in front of their fans and play their fight song. And that's one of the best parts of the game.
Yes, it is. And I want to say for next week, we're not sure if we'll be on the road in Nacogdoches at all because it is Thanksgiving week, but looks like we're going to be there, and so I'll be there as well. Looking forward to that. And so it should be another great game for the Tigers. And if you are not able to be here, watch us, but in person, man, it'd be great. So appreciate you guys being here, and so we will see you next week.
Go Tigers.